Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been living in reality, you know that life is like a science fiction novel. But for some of the snowflakes on the left, well, it's been a little tough to accept some of the realities that have come to the forefront here recently. In fact, they're even trying to deny them. But Bloomberg has the answer for you. This is a story from Bloomberg today. How to stay sane in a world of crazy news. That's right. Reality is crazy, not you. Another day, another firestorm, 9 experts on ways to keep up and keep your head from exploding. I love this. 9 experts. These are the same experts that told you Hillary Clinton was going to win. I wonder what they're really experts at. Probably fake news. They say life comes at you fast. Really, reality comes at you fast these days. It seems at the speed of light. But this first month alone has been a blizzard of executive orders, presidential tweets. They can't stand those. See, the executive orders Obama did too, so they can't complain too much. And momentous events, among them an immigration order that created havoc at airports before being blocked in court. Dozens of large protest marches, anarchists in the streets of Berkeley. But here's the thing about this, folks. They say that this is an immigration order. They always do this little play on words, and we're going to have other stories covering this too, especially out of time. The fake news does this the best. But the reason why there's these protests, the reason why there's these anarchists in the streets, the reason why there's all this civil unrest is because of your fake news. So what they want to do here is first they tell you that it's crazy how all this news is coming at you because they haven't lived in reality their whole lives. So then they try to say, it's okay, it's all Trump's fault. Trump is the reason why you're marching in the streets. Trump is the reason why all this news is so crazy. No, that's just reality, Bloomberg. But they don't want to tell it to you like that. Before we get to time, though, it's very important that we inject this into the conversation. Daily presidential tracking polls has Donald Trump moving up again on his approval rating. Now, 55% of likely U.S. voters approve of Donald Trump's job so far. This is a sharp rise for the middle of February. So I guess, Bloomberg, people really can handle these insane news that you're telling your audience how to handle. So I'm just not sure. The news was crazy before Donald Trump was president. It's going to continue to be crazy. The difference is the mainstream media and the liberal media didn't report it. Now they have to. Now, let's take a look at Time Magazine, folks. Time Magazine came out with a new cover. They debuted it today. Time's new cover, Inside Donald Trump's White House Chaos. And they made this little GIF, and the cover, it looks like Donald Trump is in a storm. You can see it there. Nothing to see here. Of course, the most ironic thing, as they've been covering for the presidential administrations of the past, saying nothing to see here. Nothing to see here with the Obama fake birth certificate. Nothing to see here with the creation of ISIS under the Obama regime and the Clinton State Department. Nothing to see here. Just Donald Trump, who, by the way, is the most transparent president you've ever seen in your life. He doesn't sign an executive order without putting it in front of all the media. He had a 2-hour press conference today. We'll talk about that later. But here's the hit piece from Time. Inside Donald Trump's White House Chaos. It's chaos. Donald Trump mastered the art of disruption. Oh, they're saying Donald Trump is the master of the art of disruption. You're right. He's disrupting the Washington, D.C. establishment. That's what he's disrupting. That's the truth that needs to be reported. Time isn't going to tell you to. But disruption in government? The rule maker breaking the rules. Actually, no, it turned out that the executive order you're referencing on the travel ban is completely legal. Okay, nice try. But it turns out to be more costly. Toppling the temple can be painful if you try it from inside. So here they are admitting that there's corruption inside of the temple or the White House. That's what they're referring to here. And it's what Chuck Schumer said. Oh, well, you better watch out. The intelligence agency can get back at you. So here's Donald Trump trying to disrupt the Washington establishment. And then Time is like, oh, well, you know, this is not good. You can't disrupt the establishment from inside. It's going to crumble down on you, as it's actually happening with resignations like Mike Flynn. And then Chuck Schumer saying the intelligence agencies can get back at you. So Time is basically admitting it here out of the side of their mouth how corrupt Washington, D.C. is. But Trump is the bad guy somehow in this, even though he just got in. Judges in 4 courts froze a hastily. I love how they always have to interject these little verbs to make it seem like it's something it's not. hastily issued an executive order barring certain immigrants. Wrong. Totally wrong. That is fake news from entering the country. It's not whether you're an immigrant or not an immigrant. It's a travel ban from 7 countries to try to vet people from coming here so that they're not terrorists. It has nothing to do with stopping Muslims. It has nothing to do with stopping immigrants. It's a travel ban to try to vet people so that they're not terrorists coming into this country. It's that simple. But the propaganda from Time goes on, and we've actually, pun fully intended, we've got a timeline of their propaganda. Let's go ahead and look at how Time has covered Donald Trump. This goes back, the first story here on the cover, bully, check, showman, check, party crasher, check, demagogue, check, president of the United States. Oh, they didn't want to check that one, but you can go ahead and check that. But that was the first article they tried to hit Donald on. Then they went to the next one, meltdown. You remember this one? Donald Trump is in a meltdown. No, you're melting down. No, wait, I'm wrong. It's a total meltdown. Oh, Donald Trump is in a total meltdown. No, Times, you're in a total meltdown, the mainstream news. And then what did Times have to do? Person of the year. Aw, little Time magazine. But that's okay. They weren't done with the propaganda yet. They wanted to push the pussy hats. The resistance rises, how a march became a movement. Not. What movement? There's been nothing. Oh, and by the way, Time, your fake news, you tweeted that an Olympic athlete was detained because of Trump's travel ban. Fake news, 100% fake news. And here's the truth of the matter, folks. The reason why Trump implemented this travel ban is so we don't end up like Paris, France, where riots are now reaching the Capitol Center, buildings on fire, police being attacked, riots in the street. It's a widespread thing happening. Now, they're trying to scapegoat this whole thing and say it's a riot over the police alleged rape of a young black man named Theo. That's kind of all hearsay right now, and it looks like that's going to be the cover-up. But really, this is just civil unrest because of migrants being forced into the area and the socioeconomic unrest that's been coming down from their government. Here's another story that they're going to want to censor off social media. Feds investigating Manchester Alderman Thomas Castantonis. Now, this is a guy who his story is going over social media, and Leanne McAdoo is going to tell us why. Here's Leanne.
Democratic Alderman Thomas Castantonis of New Hampshire has been served. Now, federal and state investigators searched the Ward 8 alderman's home and businesses Tuesday following a months-long criminal financial investigation. This is according to authorities who executed warrants at 4 locations, including his home and 3 businesses, Zoe's Pizza, Grand Slam Pizza, and Tommy K's. The latter 2 pizza shops are owned by Castantonis. Now, Associate New Hampshire Attorney General Jane Young said that this is just the beginning of the investigation, and it will likely take months to analyze all of the information that they are gathering. She would not say what sparked this investigation or whether Castantonis was indeed the target, only that the warrants were executed mid-morning and the search warrants were completed by late afternoon. No one has been arrested, and these search warrants are sealed and not available for public view. So that's all we know for sure right now. But considering the fact that Castantonis has been pictured with Hillary Clinton and former President Barack Obama, people are already beginning to ask if this is the actual start of real arrests regarding Pizzagate.
Now, Leanne is going to talk more about Fukushima later, but what's going on is it's getting worse, and now the robot they sent in, the Scorpion robot mission inside Fukushima reactor, was aborted. They sent in this robot to try to get measurements, figure out what was going on. This is in response to the radiation levels reaching record highs now, but it's not clear why the robot couldn't get through, whether it be the radiation or the obstacles, but it was aborted. Now, the $189 billion that they are guessing this was going to take to the expense to clean this up, it looks like it's going to take decades, and I'm not sure if they can even properly estimate how much damage the cost is going to take to actually clean this up. But Leanne will have more on that later. We'll also have more on the Oroville Dam later with Millie. But this is interesting, folks. It looks like it's getting worse. There are more rainstorms, more moisture headed into that area, and crews are already working through the night to try to shore up the spillway, and they're trying to fortify the structure before the next series of storms, which they're forecasting to hit before tomorrow. And the dam is not looking good right now. If these storms come and they're strong, the 3 storm systems will move into Northern California during the next 6 days, according to the National Weather Service. Forecasters, however, are confident that the first two storms will not cause huge inflows into Lake Oroville, but they're less confident about the third. And so basically what you have is these storm cells moving in. They're calling it an atmospheric river that is taking aim. And they have a graphic here on this one story that kind of explains it. It shows the moisture heading into Northern California. Of course, that's where the water will end up and then flowing down towards Lake Oroville, which is where the dam was spilled over. And again, they're trying to fix it. But right now, the state of that dam is not good. And Millie Weaver is going to have more on that later. Our thoughts and prayers are with everybody in the area of California that is impacted by this. Now, Donald Trump has gone back to his ground game and very strong. He had a press conference today that lasted, I think, if not 2 hours, maybe more, in which he berated the media, really just gave quite a nuggie to CNN. It was quite an impressive thing to watch. But he's not done there. President to bypass politicians, raise money for British veterans instead. Reports are swirling that President Donald Trump may hold one of his signature Titanic rallies during his trip to England, using the opportunity to raise money for British veterans, and Nigel Farage is fully on board. And this is amazing because if Donald Trump does this, it would probably get massive exposure, massive turnouts in England, and it will just be huge to show how Donald Trump is actually uniting the world, not dividing it. And of course, Farage supports this. Now, the UK Parliament doesn't want anything to do with Trump, so he would basically be bypassing them by doing this, another to the political establishment. But he's going to be in Melbourne tomorrow. That's Saturday. Donald Trump to rally in Melbourne on Saturday, again, retreating to the ground game. Tickets for this event have already sold out, but he will be at the airport in Melbourne. Melbourne International, doors open at 3. Rally begins at 5. You got to love Donald Trump going back to his ground game. This is what energized America. This is what makes America great again. Infowars.com will be there.
In case you haven't heard, InfoWars has become the most influential media outlet in America. We're making freedom go viral. And now we are proud to announce a new weapon in the epic battle against the globalists. InfoWars Prime, where you can watch live high-definition feeds of The Alex Jones Show, plus exclusive insider videos from the InfoWars crew and behind-the-scenes action. Go to Infowars.com/app and download today. InfoWars Prime is available right now for your iPhone or Android. You will have access to exclusive videos that you can't see anywhere else. And that means live coverage of events and breaking news on location as it happens. You can also take advantage of amazing deals from the InfoWars store that are only available for InfoWars Prime subscribers. That's InfoWars Prime at Infowars.com/app. And if you can hear my voice, you are the resistance.